This is Psychic Tarot Reader here. I'll be doing a reading on Alicia Navarro. This girl has been missing since 2019 after she left a note to her parents saying that she was going to run away and then come back. Apparently, she appeared at the Havre Police Station in Montana asking to get her name off the missing persons list. Now, I'll be doing a reading regarding this. Take everything with a grain of salt. And let's get started, shall we? The first card that we get is this is the Seven of Swords. So when I look at the Seven of Swords, it is someone carrying items or swords. Someone carrying something, at the same time trying to be sneaky and leaving. And also watching their back, so somebody that is very sneaky doesn't want them to know that they're leaving, also wants to leave so no one knows that they're carrying things with them, so kind of like stealing. So this card tells me about her that she wanted to leave and she didn't want other people to know where she was going. And perhaps she was carrying some stuff with her. So that's what this means to me. The second card is the Ten of Pentacles. Now when I look at this card, there is a variety of details that stand up to me. A man is carrying a sack with him. A lady is passing by with her child. At the same time, the little child is petting the dog. I also see an older man petting another dog. So when I look at this, it is perhaps the lady is trying to make conversation to the person that's with the sack. So I'm thinking maybe the girl, Alicia, was maybe walking and a couple of people might have approached her. Is what I'm getting from this. Perhaps animals might have approached her as well because there are some dogs there. And perhaps an older man might have approached her because an older man is there. Now, the pentacles are material things. It means money. It can also mean physical things, personal things. The fact that the person is carrying a sack, meaning Alicia might have left with some stuff with her. Her personal belongings, she might have had some stuff with her. And as she was leaving, she passed up a couple of people that might have noticed her. Maybe they were offering her help, and she didn't want them, and she just kept walking. So that's what I get from this card. Moving on to the next one, this is the Ten of Wands. So the Ten of Wands, to me, when I look at this card, it's somebody carrying a bunch of sticks. So it's like carrying stuff with you as you're leaving, like going on a journey, carrying stuff. To me, this represents that somebody is carrying too much stuff with them. Like, it could be personal things, or it could be emotional things. But they're carrying stuff that's affecting them. And like in the picture, the person is holding it, carrying it, and it's harder for them to go up. So Alicia might have been holding some personal things, some emotional things, or anything she was holding mentally, physically, was trying to slow her down. So that's what I get from this card. And let's move on to the next one. To me, it represents like a barrier. Now you see how the sticks are all lined up, kind of like a fence. So what I'm guessing is Alicia might have had something like a barrier or her own space. She basically she was trying to defend herself or protect herself against something or someone. Maybe somebody was trying to ask something and she didn't want it, so she put like a barrier. Normally, this is done to keep people away from your personal, invading your personal spaces. If somebody's invading your personal space, you have to put up a barrier. You tell them, hey, this is my space. Don't come near me. So this is what this card is telling me. She probably had people that were trying to invade her personal space, and she was defending it, kind of like a barrier, telling them not to come near her. I'm guessing maybe some people were trying to, they were trying to help her, and maybe she didn't see the best intention in them, so she said no. So that's what I get from this card. Alright, so basically this reading tells me that she wanted to leave. So this reading tells me that she wanted to leave. She had a couple people that noticed her and were concerned about her and were, wanting to get in contact with her or be in communication. And she just kept walking. Maybe she didn't want to have no interest. And as she was walking, she might have had some stuff like regrets, or she was carrying some stuff that was holding her back. As she was going, she had this defense that she didn't want other people near her or around her because she didn't know nobody. They were basically strangers. That's what I get from this. Alright, so let's continue and see what we get from this reading. Okay, so the next card we get is called the World. So to me, the World card is very interesting because to me it represents that a voyage, kind of like a trip. So you're going somewhere. It also means a cycle. It represents an ending cycle. Kind of like the life, which is why the wreath is there, kind of like in a circle. So it represents the cycle of life. But it also represents like going somewhere and not having nobody stop you. So what I get from this card is she wanted to go out and she didn't want nobody to stop her from going out. Like she wanted to go explore the world on her own, by herself. So this is what I get from the World card. Let's move to the next one. This card is the Six of Pentacles. And to me, the Six of Pentacles represents physical things like money or personal things, anything physical. Now when I look at this card, it is telling me that someone is going and offering money to someone, right? And then the other person is asking for money as well, but they're not receiving anything. As well as the balance it is carrying, meaning he wants to have everything in balance, no imbalances. So to me, this card represents, when I look at it, somebody that's giving, whether it's money or food, but giving stuff to someone. As you see the man there is like a poor man, maybe a homeless man. What I get from this card from her is either as she was passing by, she had people that were asking money from her, or she was in the position to ask someone for money. One of the two. Or it could be both. But it was one of those situations what I get. That's what I get from this card. Either she was asking to get money or food from someone, or someone was asking for her to give money to them. That's what I get from this card. Let's move on to the next one. So this is the Nine of Pentacles. So the Nine of Pentacles. When I look at this card, to me I see a lady that has a bird on her hand, kind of like an animal tamer. And at the same time, she has her hand on a pentacle. It's like she has something, maybe money or personal belongings to her. It's like but she's not holding onto it. It's like she's putting her hand on top of it, kind of like resting her hand on it. So like resting her hand on her stuff. Also on her dress, there's flowers. Flowers kind of to me represents innocence, purity, like caring, loving. So this card to me means somebody is caring and loving and basically loves nature. So when I do the reading for Alicia, I get that maybe her personality was like a caring person. She's a caring, she must like animals, kind of like a mother figure, but a caring. They like nature, they like the outdoors, they like animals, or they're drawn to animals. So that's what I get from this card. Okay, let's move to the next one. And this one is the Page of Swords. To me, the Page of Swords represents somebody that is unsure. And the reason I say that is because if you notice, this person has a sword, but they're unsure how to use it, either to defend themselves or attack themselves. If you notice the birds up there, it's like seeing the situation as above, so below. So seeing the situation from a higher perspective, from a look of above, kind of like the birds when they see the situation from above. So that's what it's telling. So to me, this card means that Alicia must have been either a bit unsure whether how to handle the situation where she was in. She didn't know if she could defend herself or attack, and she didn't know how to look at the situation, which is why the birds are there. You always have to look situations from above you to see how you can resolve issues. So it's like somebody that's naive, unsure, basically somebody that's not really equipped. That's what this Page of Swords tells me. So in the whole reading for this one is she went out, I guess, exploring the world for some reason. And maybe she got approached by people, or she approached someone asking for food or money. And at the same time, maybe she found a place where she was like nature wise, because the birds, represents animal and everything. And, loving and caring person that likes nature. It's always going outside and loves all the animals. And she was unsure what to do in the situation she was in. Maybe somebody said something to her and she didn't know how to react, whether to, run away or stay. So that's what I'm getting from this reading. Anyways, I hope this reading made sense. Take everything with a grain of salt. But it was interesting to do a reading regarding Alicia Navarro. Let me know what everyone thinks in the comments. Well, I hope you enjoyed this reading. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. By the way, if anybody's interested, I am doing readings, personal readings actually. You can actually find that information on the About page in my YouTube channel, or you can click in the link for my Facebook homepage that I have that also gives you information. I will leave the link below. If you're interested in a reading, a personal reading, just let me know and then we can go from there.